Okay, welcome to step 2. Now in this video, we are going to be talking about how you're going to actually get the content. We are assuming that at this point you have already selected your subject within your niche, and so now what you've got to do is you've got to fill the membership. And we're going to be talking about the process of that a little later in the course, but for now, I'm going to talk about where you are going to actually get the content if you are not already an expert. Now, if you're already an expert in the niche, then you've probably already got sources and you can probably create a lot of the content yourself. But if you are not an expert, then you are going to have to source this content. And we're going to be talking about that right now. Now, obviously, what you're going to need on a monthly basis is you're probably going to need a minimum of 10 pieces of content every month. And I would say you're going to want to be someplace between 10 or 15, maybe close to every other day on average. But you want to have about 10 to 15 content pieces every month. Now, of course, the best of all methods, the best of all would be for you to go to an expert, probably a freelancer on one of the freelancing sites, and to have the content created for you. That is the easiest way to do it. And what you basically want to have them do is to create you a 500-word article on popular subjects in the niche. And you want to be able to develop a relationship with this writer, with this freelancer, because they're going to be basically supplying you every single month. Now, this is a little expensive depending on how much you pay for the articles. Obviously, you're going to get what you pay for. And if you get content from a freelancer, then make sure it's going to be of high quality and it's really going to help people once they're on the inside. Remember, this is going to be a membership where you're going to be getting paid month after month, right? So you're not just getting content to be sold one time. You're getting content because you want people to develop trust in you, trust in the membership, so they'll continue to pay you and they won't even think about canceling their subscription. That's what you're trying to create. Now, you can also source this content from private label rights content. And, of course, you can always get content from Wealthy PLR. And you can go to the Warrior Forum and just do a search for the kind of content that you actually want. Now, we've got some resources in this guide that you can actually look to. You can click on and you will be able to see how you can find other private label rights material. Now, you're probably going to need image content also for repurposing. Now, there are some sites where you can find royalty-free image content for repurposing. Now, when you find that image content, you want to make sure you have the rights to use it commercially. And the sites that we're going to be showing you, you can actually do that. So if you already know of sites that are royalty-free sites for the images that you are using, then feel free to use them because you're going to need them in your niche as you create products, repurpose products to get them ready for the people inside of your newsletter or membership. Now, if possible, you want to make sure that regardless of how you get the content, that you can turn it into 3 basic kinds of content. Number 1, you're going to want to turn it into audio content. This might mean that you want to narrate the content once you get it, have it narrated for you, but you want to have audio content because some people don't want to read content on their mobile device. Some people just want to listen to it. Some people want to download it, put it on their MP3 or mobile device, and they want to go to the gym. That's how they like to experience it. If you can provide audio content, some people will say, well, hey, that's the membership for me. That's how I want to experience this content, and I will sign. Some people like to watch content on their mobile device or on their video device. They like to watch that content in between things that they have to do. They might be waiting someplace. Maybe they have to commute into their place of work on mass transit, and they need to have something to do. Some people like to use video content when they have a break in time, and so video content is important to them. They don't necessarily like audio content. They don't necessarily like to read, so the video content is ideal for them. And others are going to want written content. They're not going to have time, nor do they want to sit down and listen to audio or watch video in real time. They like to be able to get the written content, they can skim it and move on. So you want to make sure that you have these three basic kinds of content in your membership, right? So that the person can just decide which they want to experience regardless of what the content is. Now we want to shift gears right now, and we want to start talking about one part of your content membership every single month. And every month should have at least one piece of premium monthly content. Now, you might ask, what would make it premium? Well, that means that this is expert content. This is as recognized and expert as you can possibly find at least once a month. Now, this is going to probably mean that you are going to want to create content in a couple of different ways, but you are basically going to want to find an expert that will help you to create content in exchange for additional publicity to whatever it is that they are doing. Now, there are some methods that you can use in order to create this content. You can do a Google Hangout or video interview with them. So in other words, they get to talk about their subject matter and get exposure, perhaps their book or their information product, but you are going to give them that exposure. The second way, of course, is you can have them do an audio interview with them on Blog Talk Radio and or Skype. Third, you are going to do a written interview. Maybe perhaps you might do one through email. Now that's the least desirable of the three. If you can possibly do it, you want to have this premium content on audio and or video. Now, what you're basically going to do using these content methods is interview an expert in a niche. So you're going to interview them on their subject matter. You're going to have them help you to talk to your members about the subjects that are really plaguing them. Now, you can find these experts on Amazon. They'll be authors on your subject matter. You might find information product creators, and you'll find them on ClickBank, and you will find bloggers all over Google. Now, one place for you to look for these folks is there is a website called ProfNet, and there's a link there that you can click on, as well as HARO, which is helpareporter.com. Those are people who want to be sources for media. Now, you might have to do some convincing since you are actually going to have them appear inside of a membership. Okay, so now that is your how you're going to source your content. Remember, you're going to want to have your 10 to 15 content pieces, one of which is going to be premium every single month. So if you're doing this consistently, you will have content, and you will have content in your niche. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.